Hi, it's Jade here and welcome back to Tea Time TV. Today I will be watching The 100 Season 7 Episode 6. No idea what the title is. It's just too complicated to look them up, guys. My laptop is all the way over there, I'm all the way over here. You should see the setup I've got. It is truly homemade. So today's episode, I have no idea what we have in store. As usual, I really like going into the episode sort of blind. I don't watch the previews or sneak peeks or anything like that. So, that being said, I do know that we didn't see much of Clark or Raven and co last episode, so I'm fully expecting to see what's happening with them on that very icy cold planet, and I'm sure we will get to see what's happening. They've got a hunt for the sphere. I think they have an actual name, I've forgotten though. So they've got to look for that so that they can transport themselves to a better planet, because that one looks like a terrible time. So a lot's happened in the past week of me being 25. Bob Morley made an Instagram, which I won't link down below, but I think it's like wildpip_Morley. I'm probably wildly wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I'm close. You know what? I have to be honest. I did see some spoilers. And they weren't nice spoilers. They were spoilers saying that now they're finally deciding to put some flashbacks in of Bellamy and Echo's relationship on the ring. I am not invested in it. I'm not about to be in the last season. Stop trying to make it happen. And if it does happen, I'm going to round up all the cast myself and we're going to refilm the last episode of this season. Thank you very much. Let's get into the episode. This reminds me a lot of that scene with Murphy at the end of season 3 in the bunker by himself. I knew she'd eventually kick ass. Headbutt him, headbutt him, headbutt him.
Alright, just go. Yeah, release it. I'll release it. Thanks.
Ew, ew. That is so nasty. I truly cannot express to you guys how much I'm really over this storyline. I love Indra. I love JR. I love Adina Porter. I just don't want this storyline anymore. Honestly, she should just rip that shit out of his neck, Dioza style. I wouldn't mind it. Aww. Yeah, call Bellamy's name first. I'll take all the crumbs I can get. You guys know I will.
These people could choose any world for a home. It wouldn't be this one.
I don't know.
True.
I think it's pretty cool.
Haha.
Cool. It's a body.
I mentioned that I don't like it here.
I swear you.
Cool. It's going to be very hard to get away in that small space. Absolutely not.
Are you okay? Yeah. It's gone.
They remind me of those really fun things from the Maze Runner.
Where's the damn top?
It's a no from me. Whoop.
Mom?
Whoop.
Dioza.
Oh. Whoop. Good.
What's wrong with her? Bellamy's dead.
No, he's not.
The shifting ground moved it. Maybe we can move it back.
It's not shifting ground. Clark, this isn't a cave. It's a living organism.
Oh, good. Oh, the acid.
Let's digest it inside. Meaning, clear its next meal.
Oh, good. Just gonna break you down with the acid and then ingest you.
You're a janitor?
Yeah. Still on the code breaking team though. Thank you for that.
Of course.
It was worth it. To see another way to live. Feel what you made me feel.
Wow.
How much me again, man?
I love them. Aw, Maddy has friends her own age. Awesome.
You're weird, huh? Hey.
Cause she draws?
Yes, I'm... Oh.
Sure, why not?
Maddy. I need to speak with you.
Oh, let her be a kid.
No. Alone.
We're not gonna make it. The others will find a way. How do you do it? Do what? Say something I'm strong.
Aw.
Whatever happens, Clark Griffin doesn't break.
Yeah, she does.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's not.
I killed 4 people in the nuclear reactor.
Mm.
You're just...
Can we have more of these conversations, please?
Raven. Maybe this is karma. For everything we've done. All the people we've killed. Hey, the people we've killed. We killed to save the people we love. We loved people too. It doesn't end here. I don't believe in karma, Raven. And if we have a soul, yours isn't cracked. You're a good person. Maybe the best I know.
Aww.
Best you know, huh? Then why didn't I go in? I could have watered those pipes myself. But instead I said have to.
Well, no, you have red blood, Raven, so you would have died.
I could have watered myself, but I was...
You're not a night blood. You couldn't have done it.
It's okay. I was so afraid. God, I'm so...
Fucking Raven hugging, thinking they're gonna die together was beautiful.
Told ya.
How about you find us a planet with a beach?
Yeah. Preferably one that doesn't eat people.
I'm on it.
That helmet is bashed up.
Why did you bring them?
Because they care about her. And so do I.
I'm fine. I can do this.
Would you look at her? She's terrified.
Please.
Do it. Cut me down, because that's the only way I'm letting this kid go in there.
Clark would be a hell. It would be a hell no from her.
She's having a panic attack, Kendra. She can't do this, and you know it. Maddy, wait!
I've seen it before. That's why we need Maddy.
Well, that is why we need you. Come on, Andrew, we weren't actually in that bunker, but I don't think it takes a genius to figure out who was really running things down there while Octavia was painting her face with blood. Besides, who's bossier than you?
I'm a soldier. A warrior. That's my role. Always has been.
Andrew. The fact that you
Step
don't
up
want
to the plate.
It's why you should do it.
Exactly.
this.
Burn it with fire.
We at least watch?
No.
I'm gonna watch.
What happens without rebreathers?
Same thing has happened to the Bardons. Extinction. Only slower than you expect.
They told us to do this so it wasn't survivable.
Why is this bitch like this?
She said his name. He still might need love. Move, Gabriel. Open the door.
I can't let you risk it.
Gabriel, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, that's a move.
Weapons disengaged. I surrender.
Okay, that was kind of dumb. That was dumb. I thought it was good at first, but then then I realized it's pretty dumb.
Look familiar.
What's that?
The second dawn. How is it possible there's people here from the bunker in Poland?
It's gotta be a coincidence, right?
Oh, that bunker. Didn't we say that it was going to connect to that?
It's more than just one.
Raven.
I'm trying. I can almost see it.
Oh, it does connect to that.
Got it.
They're the Doomsday people. Yeah, we should have guessed.
Entering the code now.
So that was the 100 season 7 episode 6, and I have to be honest with you, it was kind of a meh episode. Look, there were definitely some really good moments in this episode. I will not pass that by. I think what's really letting it down is just the multiple strands of storyline and plot going on here, and by that I mean we just don't need the Shadeheader storyline. It's not necessary, and they have a chance here to just sort of wrap it up, and then we can focus on one thing and start bringing all of our characters back together, because I'm just really over it, not invested in it. I don't think it's doing much for our characters in way of development, especially in a last season. And it's just focusing on the wrong characters, to be honest with you. Like, I love Indra, but I'm not particularly worried as much about her storyline and ending as I am about, you know, say Octavia, Bellamy, Clark, Murphy and Raven. Those 5 are the ones or 6, I don't know how to math, but they're the ones I'm really most concerned about, and I really want to see them wrap up their storylines in a whole, you know, full circle way. And I just don't think we can do that when we're focusing on all these different ensemble characters. And this storyline has really become so tedious, and it doesn't involve many of our main characters that we're invested in. And look, I love Maddy, I love Emori, I love Indra, but it's just not enough to keep me in this storyline. So with that being said, it's probably going to drag on till the end of the season, and you guys are probably going to have to repeatedly hear me say that I'm bored of it, and I apologize in advance for that. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff of this episode, because there were some great moments. One of them was in the Shadeheader storyline, and that was when Jackson, Emori and Murphy came to Maddy's rescue and really stood up to Indra and said, hey, look, she's really clearly not into this. She does not want to be doing this. She has anxiety associated with this entire thing because she's been a traumatized child, and fair enough. And she really went through it, not last season, but actually no, the last 2 seasons in regards to this. And she is done. She's done, and I understand it. It's just that Indra doesn't really. Indra's all like one straight line. We need to protect our people and lead our people with the commandos, point blank. I love that Indra came into her own and sort of decided, okay, I'm going to do this on my own. And I like that they gave her the backbone for that. But I think, yeah, it's obviously a reflection of how she brought up her daughter Gaia too. And that was sort of manifesting itself into Maddy as well. Like, you have to do this. You have a responsibility to do this. Whereas Maddy really doesn't. You know, she doesn't have the chip in her head anymore. She doesn't want that. She gets anxious about it. So just like leave her out of it. And also like Clark would not want that. So I'm really, really thankful that her friends that are, you know, still remaining there were just like, no. So moving on to the planet jumping storyline thing, I cannot stress enough how over I am of Echo. I thought that Echo and Bellamy stuff would be this episode, but for some immaculate reason it must be in another few episodes, so that somehow makes it worse, because I just wanted it to be over with. But honestly, why does she have to stab that man? She messed it up. She messed it up. And I think the more I think about it, the thing that Gabriel did makes sense, because she kind of messed up the plan by killing him, I think. I don't know, I'll have to go back and watch it, but it was a very interesting decision. And I think obviously someone is going to die because of it. Most likely Gabriel, possibly Echo, but look, I could never hope for that much. I know, I'm so salty about her, I'm so sorry, but like I'm so tired of having her forced down my throat. I don't like her, and I will never like her as a character. It's just how it is. Like, if you had introduced her in a way that was slow and effective and given us flashbacks in the 5th season like you were supposed to, then maybe I would like her as a character, but I don't. And frankly, the last season is too late to do it. Case closed. On to some nice things. I really loved the Levitt and Octavia scenes. They were very sweet, and I'm really hoping that he wasn't lying to them and that they could have survived up there. But it's interesting that like it's not breathable outside again. It's very like Mount Weatherish again, which is really interesting. Oh, and while I'm on it, they brought up the second something bunker as well. That was in season 3, right? I just assumed they all died when they went to see that bunker under Polis and there were all these skeletons, but maybe they did die and the planet jumping went a little bit wrong. But who knows? I'm really interested to see if this is them. Look, I really, really loved also the Clark and Raven discussion when they thought they were going to die together. It was really sweet, and it was really nice for them to just really flesh it out and have that conversation. And Clark be like, hey, I'm not brave all the time. You just haven't seen when I'm like that. And it's also, it's strange to me because this storyline with Raven sort of hating on Clark because of, you know, the things she does, and then, you know, Raven obviously having to have an impossible decision that would obviously put people she loves above other people, and then weighing up that moral decision is interesting. And I feel like the comparison, it can be a very good storyline, but it just wasn't quite done in the right way. But I feel like this conversation has really helped to close that, and it's almost there, but there were definitely things that were unnecessary. As I've spoken about before, I don't think that Raven needed to be beaten up for her to learn, you know, what it's like for Clark. It's really dangerous. I don't know how. I need to stop emphasizing on it, I know, but like, you just stop hurting an already disabled character, please. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to say about the episode right now. And you know what, guys, I want you to remember that these are reactions. So it's important to remember that these are just like my initial reaction. Like, I always sit on Twitter, I always sit on the episode for a couple of days and sort of flesh it out and talk about things and realize things. Like, there are plenty of things that I don't know until later on. Sometimes I know these things from people in the comments below. Sometimes I know them before you guys comment. Sometimes I realize them straight after I've seen the scene. Sometimes I realize weeks and weeks after I'm reflecting on something that happened, where I'm like, yeah, that wasn't really it. Or, wow, that was a really great scene. I wish I gave it, you know, more enthusiasm and talked about it a little bit more. So I just want to make you guys aware that being a reactor is being reactive. And it's really not about the analysis, and the analysis does take a lot longer than, you know, the 10 minutes I take after an episode to write down my thoughts. and talk about the points that I want to talk about in the episode, because really I would say to give a really good review on an episode, it would take me at least a week of jotting down and really thinking about it. But obviously I don't have time to do that. I'm a working human. But yeah, I just wanted to relay to you guys that that's what it's like. It's not, you know, it's an instantaneous thing. It's not something we get to mull over. And so just remember that, you know, we're reactive. So here's hoping for a better season 7, episode 7. I do want to say one thing more though before I go, and it is important. I just want to note that Clark is really out of character at the moment. And one of the main things I'm concerned about is actually her lack of concern for Bellamy. And this is not just Bella created, it's character related. They're like really good friends, right? And to be honest with you, I said on Twitter a couple of weeks ago even that I was concerned because, you know, she said, let's go save our friends. She keeps going to say, let's go save our friends. And look, didn't leave off on the best terms with Octavia. Look, it's lovely that she's calling out her name, but let's be honest. She's not friends with Echo in any way, shape or form. She barely knows Gabe. And it's just like there's no one else there that she'd be concerned about. So we'll see what happens with that, but they're not going to reunite for probably a couple of more episodes. So I'm not holding my breath, but thank you so much for joining me for this episode, and I will see you next week for another episode of The 100. In the meantime, you can catch me at Swifts Broadway on Twitter and on Instagram at JadeLucyG_. Thanks so much. Bye.